Ambassador Lisa Carter stood at the bridge window of the Earth ship called Earth's Dawn. She watched the alien world grow larger as they moved closer. The planet was called Kalos Prime, and it was home to the Zephyrians. These aliens looked like large lizards that walked on two legs. They had green scales and yellow eyes that seemed to glow in the dark. Lisa felt nervous but also hopeful. She had spent 20 years talking to aliens from different worlds. This was her most important job yet. Earth and the Zephyrians had been fighting small battles for 2 years. Both sides lost ships and people. Now, finally, they would try to make peace. Captain Jake Morrison walked up to her. He was a good soldier who had fought in space battles before. His uniform was clean and his face was serious. "Ambassador, we will reach their space in 1 hour," he said. "My crew is ready for anything." Lisa nodded. She trusted Jake. He had kept her safe on many dangerous trips to meet aliens. "I hope we won't need your guns today, Captain. We come in peace." Dr. Amy Walsh joined them at the window. She was Earth's best scientist for studying alien life. Amy had worked with many different alien species. She knew how they thought and acted. "The Zephyrians are proud people," Amy said. "They value strength and honor. If we show respect, they might listen to our offer." Lisa carried Earth's best deal in her briefcase. Earth would share their terraforming technology with the Zephyrians. This technology could turn dead planets into worlds where people could live. In return, the Zephyrians would let Earth mine metals from empty space between their worlds. It was a fair trade that would help both sides. The bridge grew quiet as they entered Zephyrian space. 3 alien ships came to meet them. The ships were long and dark, like metal snakes flying through space. Their weapons were visible but not aimed at the Earth ship. "This is normal," Jake said, watching his screens. "They always send escort ships to guide visitors." A voice came through the radio. It spoke in the clicking, hissing language of the Zephyrians. Amy quickly translated. "They say welcome to Kalos Prime. We should follow them to the meeting place." Lisa felt better. Everything seemed normal. The escort ships moved into position around the Earth's dawn. They would fly together to the planet where the peace talks would happen. But Jake noticed something wrong. His instruments showed strange energy readings from the alien ships. The weapons that should have been turned off were getting ready to fire. "Ambassador," he said quietly, "something is not right. Their weapons are charging up." Lisa looked at the readings. She had seen enough space battles to know what this meant. "Are you sure?" she asked. "Yes, they are getting ready to shoot." Jake's hand moved toward the alarm button. "I think we should leave now." Before anyone could move, the alien ships opened fire. Bright green beams hit the Earth's dawn from 3 sides. The ship shook hard. Lights went out and came back on. People fell down as the floor moved under their feet. "They're shooting at us," Jake shouted. He ran to his command chair and started giving orders to his crew. "Shields up, return fire, send a message to Earth now." Amy grabbed Lisa's arm to help her stand up. "Why are they doing this? We came here to make peace." More energy beams hit the ship. This time explosions echoed through the metal walls. The ship's engines made grinding sounds. Smoke began to fill the bridge. Jake tried to fight back, but the Earth's dawn was not a warship. It had only small guns for protection. The 3 alien ships had big weapons meant for battle. The human ship could not win this fight. "The engines are failing," a crew member called out. "We're losing power." Lisa knew they were going to die. She thought about her family back on Earth. Her husband and 2 children would never see her again. But Earth needed to know what happened here. They needed to know that the Zephyrians could not be trusted. "Send the message," she told Jake. "Tell Earth what they did to us." Jake pressed buttons on his control panel. The radio was still working, but barely. He opened a channel to Earth. The message would take hours to reach home, but it would get there. Lisa took the microphone. Her voice was calm even though the ship was dying around her. "This is Ambassador Lisa Carter on the Earth's dawn. The Zephyrians are firing on us. This is an unprovoked attack. We came here in peace to make a deal. They waited until we were in their space. Then they shot us without warning. Another explosion rocked the ship. The lights went out completely. Emergency. Power came on, making everything look red. Tell my family I love them, Lisa continued. Tell Earth that we tried to make peace. The Zephyrians cannot be trusted. They are not honorable people. They are killers who attack ships that come in peace. The biggest explosion yet shook the ship. Lisa could hear metal breaking apart. The ship was coming apart piece by piece. This is our last message, she said into the microphone. Remember us. Remember that we came here trying to stop a war, and they murdered us for it. Tell Earth, tell everyone, we came in peace. The radio went dead. The ship broke into pieces in the cold darkness of space. All 37 people on board died. Lisa Carter, who had spent her life trying to make peace between humans and aliens, was murdered by the very people she came to help. But her message was already flying through space toward Earth. In a few hours, the people of Earth would know what the Zephyrians had done. They would know that their best diplomat, their best hope for peace, had been killed by aliens who pretended to want peace talks. The war that Lisa tried to prevent was about to begin, and it would be worse than anyone could imagine. Admiral Peter Hayes sat in his office at Terra Command when the message arrived. He had been reading reports about ship movements near the border with Zephyrian space. Everything had been quiet for weeks. The peace talks were supposed to change. Everything. His communication officer, Lieutenant Sam Parker, burst through the door. Sam's face was white with shock. Admiral, you need to hear this right now. It's from Ambassador Carter's ship. Peter felt his stomach drop. Lisa Carter was his friend. They had worked together for 10 years. She was the best diplomat Earth had ever sent to talk with aliens. Put it on the speaker, he said. Lisa's voice filled the room. Peter could hear explosions and shouting in the background. When the message ended with her final words about coming in peace, the room fell silent. Peter stared at the speaker for a long moment. When did this happen, he asked. The message just arrived, sir. The attack happened 4 hours ago. There's no response from the Earth's dawn. They're gone, sir. All of them. Peter stood up slowly. His hands were shaking with anger. Lisa had been like a sister to him. Captain Morrison had served under him in the war against the Centauri rebels. Dr. Walsh had saved his life once when alien bacteria almost killed him on a research mission. Get me President Sullivan on the emergency line, he said. And call an immediate meeting of the Security Council. Everyone needs to hear this. 2 hours later, Peter stood in the emergency meeting room under the White House. President Kate Sullivan sat at the head of the table. Her advisors filled the other chairs. General Alex Turner, head of Earth's military, sat across from Secretary of State Monica Gray. Peter played Lisa's final message for everyone. When it ended, the room exploded with angry voices. General Turner slammed his fist on the table. They murdered our people under a flag of truce. This is an act of war. Monica Gray held up her hand. We need to think carefully about this. Maybe there was a misunderstanding. Maybe their military acted without orders from their government. Misunderstanding? Turner stood up, his face red with anger. They waited until our ship was helpless in their space, then they destroyed it. 37 of our people are dead, including our best diplomat. President Sullivan raised her hand for quiet. Admiral Hayes, what do we know about Zephyrian forces near our borders? Peter activated a holographic map that showed both human and alien space. Red dots marked Zephyrian ships. They have been moving warships toward our colonies for the past week. We thought it was normal security for the peace talks. Now I think they were planning this attack all along. Monica shook her head. We should try to contact their government directly. Maybe we can still avoid a war. Before anyone could answer, another officer ran into the room. Madam President, we're getting emergency signals from our outer colonies. New Austin, Port Liberty, and Haven Station are under attack. The room went silent. President Sullivan's face went pale. Under attack by who? Zephyrian war fleets, ma'am. They came out of hyperspace 30 minutes ago and started bombing the planets. Civilian areas are being hit. Thousands are dead already. General Turner was already moving toward the door. That's it. They declared war on us when they killed Ambassador Carter. Now they're murdering our civilians. I need to get our fleets moving right now. Monica tried one more time. Madam President, please, let me try to contact their government. Maybe this is just their military acting alone. President Sullivan stood up. Her voice was cold and hard. General Turner, how long to get our nearest fleets to those colonies? 6 hours for the 5th Fleet, 12 hours for the 7th. But they have a head start, ma'am. Our colonies don't have much defense. Send them now, full speed. She turned to Monica. Secretary Gray, try to contact the Zephyrian government, but I don't think they're going to answer. Monica was right to worry. When Earth tried to call the Zephyrian leaders, they refused to take the call. Instead, they sent a short message. It said that Earth's ship had been carrying weapons and planning to attack Kalos Prime. They claimed their forces acted in self-defense, but the evidence was clear. The Earth's Dawn had been a diplomatic ship with only small defensive weapons. The attack on the colonies proved that the Zephyrians had planned this war from the beginning. By evening, the news was all over Earth's communication networks. Pictures from the colonies showed burning cities and crying families. Children had been killed in schools. Hospitals had been bombed. The Zephyrians were not just attacking military targets. They were trying to kill as many humans as possible. That night, President Sullivan spoke to the people of Earth and all the human colonies. She stood at the podium in the White House, with the flags of Earth and all the colonies behind her. My fellow humans, she began. Today we learned the true face of the Zephyrian Empire. They invited our diplomats to peace talks, then murdered them. They attacked our peaceful colonies and killed thousands of innocent people, including children. Her voice grew stronger. Ambassador Lisa Carter went to their world carrying our best offer for peace. She wanted to end the fighting between our peoples. They answered her with treachery and murder. The camera showed her face clearly. Her eyes were hard with determination. We tried to make peace. We offered friendship and trade. They chose war and slaughter instead. As of this moment, a state of war exists between Earth and the Zephyrian Empire. We will not let the blood of our people go without answer. We will not allow these murders to go unpunished. General Turner stepped forward. All military forces are now on full alert. Our fleets are moving to protect our colonies and strike back at the enemy. We will show them that humanity does not forget. We do not forgive. And we do not lose. President Sullivan nodded. The Zephyrians think they are fighting a weak and peaceful people. They are about to learn how wrong they are. When humans are forced to fight, we do not just win. We make sure our enemies never threaten us again. The speech ended, but the work was just beginning. All across human space, warships were getting ready for battle. Weapons were being loaded. Soldiers were saying goodbye to their families. The Zephyrians had made the biggest mistake in their history. They thought killing Earth's diplomats would make humans afraid. Instead, they had awakened something much more dangerous than they could imagine. War was coming, and humanity would show no mercy to those who murdered their people in cold blood. Deep under the mountains of Colorado, Colonel Ryan Phillips walked through halls that few people knew existed. The signs on the doors said things like Advanced Weapons Research and Project Retribution. For 15 years, Ryan had been in charge of Earth's most secret military programs. The Zephyrians thought they knew about human military power. They had seen Earth's regular warships and weapons during the border fights. What they did not know was that humans had been preparing for a real war since the day they first met aliens. Ryan stopped at a thick metal door marked Authorized Personnel Only. He put his hand on a scanner and looked into a camera. The door opened with a soft hiss. Inside, Dr. Rachel Stone was waiting for him. She was Earth's top weapons scientist. How long do we need to get everything ready? Ryan asked. Rachel looked at her computer screen. The new ships are ready now. The USS Vengeance finished its tests last week. The Iron Will and her sister ships are waiting in the hidden dock at Luna Base. We can have the first wave ready to fight in 24 hours. Ryan smiled, but it was not a happy smile. And the special weapons? The quantum torpedoes are loaded and ready. The plasma lance arrays tested perfectly, and the gravity bombs. Rachel paused. Colonel, are we really going to use those? They could destroy entire planets. The Zephyrians murdered our diplomats and bombed our civilians. Yes, we're going to use every weapon we have. Ryan's voice was cold. Show me the ships. They took an elevator that went down for 2 minutes. When the doors opened, Ryan saw something that would have shocked the Zephyrians. The hidden shipyard was huge, carved out of solid rock. Dozens of warships floated in the artificial lake of water used for testing. The USS Vengeance was the biggest. It was twice the size of any ship the Zephyrians had ever seen. Its hull was black metal that seemed to drink in light. Weapons covered every surface. The ship looked like it was built for one thing: destroying enemies. Captain Nicole Barnes was checking her new ship, the USS Iron Will. She was one of Earth's best pilots. But now she commanded a squadron of the new fast attack ships. Each ship was smaller than the Vengeance, but much faster than anything the aliens had. Captain Barnes, Ryan called out, are you ready to test the adaptive shields? Nicole grinned. She had been waiting for this chance since her brother died in the border fights 2 years ago. Yes, sir. My crews have been training on the simulators for months. These shields will learn from every weapon the enemy fires at us. After the first few shots, their guns won't even scratch our paint. Commander Chris Walker joined them on the dock. He was in charge of the drone swarms. Colonel, the automated fighters are ready too. We have 10 million of them in storage. Each one is smart enough to think for itself and work with the others. The Zephyrians won't know what hit them. Ryan looked at all the ships and weapons around him. Every piece of technology had been built in secret over many years. Earth's leaders had always hoped they would never need to use these weapons. But when diplomacy failed, humans knew how to fight. What about the larger ships? Ryan asked. Dr. Stone led them to another part of the shipyard. Here, the ships were so big they had to be built in separate caves. The USS Hammer of Justice was a mobile fortress. It carried enough weapons to destroy a small moon. The USS Earth's Revenge had been named just yesterday, after news of Ambassador Carter's murder reached the secret base. Each of these ships has firepower equal to an entire Zephyrian fleet, Rachel explained. But the real surprise is the technology. Our computers are faster. Our engines are more powerful. Our weapons hit harder and reach farther. Ryan nodded. The Zephyrians had made a terrible mistake. They thought humans were weak because Earth always tried to talk before fighting. They did not understand that humans were very good at learning from their enemies. Every time the aliens had attacked human ships, Earth scientists had studied the wreckage. They learned how Zephyrian weapons worked. They found weaknesses in alien armor and shields. For 20 years, humans had been getting ready for this war. Colonel, there's something else, Rachel said quietly. The quantum computers finished. The final calculations for the black hole weapons. We can create artificial gravity wells that will crush anything caught inside them. Ryan felt a chill. These weapons were so powerful they scared him. How many do we have? 50. Each one can destroy a space station or cripple a large warship. We built them hoping we would never use them. Today, hope is not enough. Ryan turned to face all the officers around him. People, the Zephyrians think they started a war with a peaceful species. They think humans will fight the same kind of battles they've always fought. They are very wrong. He pointed to the ships around them. When Earth fights a real war, we don't fight to win. We fight to make sure our enemies can never threaten us again. Every weapon you see here was built with one goal: to end this war, so completely that no alien species will ever attack humans again. Captain Barnes checked her watch. Sir, Admiral Hayes wants the first attack ships ready in 18 hours. Then we better get moving. Ryan looked around the secret shipyard one more time. Start bringing everything online. Wake up the crews, who have been training for this day. Load every weapon we have. As the officers hurried to their tasks, Ryan thought about Ambassador Carter. She had spent her life trying to make peace with aliens. She believed that different species could work together and be friends. The Zephyrians had killed her for that belief. Now Earth would show them the price of murdering a peacemaker. In space stations hidden all around the solar system, similar scenes were happening. Secret weapons were being loaded onto secret ships. Soldiers who had trained for years in hidden bases were putting on their armor. Scientists were activating computers that could control battles across dozens of star systems at once. The Zephyrians had seen only Earth's peaceful side. They thought humans were soft and weak. In a few hours, they would meet the other side of humanity, the side that had conquered their own planet through thousands of years of war, the side that built weapons capable of destroying worlds. Earth was going to war, and this time, there would be no mercy for those who chose violence over peace. Admiral Peter Hayes stood on the bridge of the USS Earth's Revenge. Through the thick windows, he could see the human fleet getting ready for battle. 47 ships floated in space near the edge of Zephyrian territory. These were not the same ships the aliens had fought before. These were Earth's real warships, built in secret and hidden for years. "Admiral, all ships report ready for combat," said Commander Linda Ross, his second in command. "Captain Barnes and her fast attack squadron are in position. Commander Walker's drone swarms are loaded and ready to launch." Peter nodded. The plan was simple but deadly. They would hit 3 Zephyrian targets at the same time. This would show the aliens that Earth could fight in many places at once. More importantly, it would rescue human prisoners before the Zephyrians could kill them. "Open a channel to all ships," Peter said. "This is Admiral Hayes. Today we fight for Ambassador Carter and all the people murdered by the Zephyrians. We fight for the children killed in their attacks on our colonies. Show them what happens when they choose war over peace." The first target was Sigma Station, a large Zephyrian military base. Captain Nicole Barnes led 12 fast attack ships toward the station. Her ships moved faster than anything the aliens had ever seen. The Zephyrians were still trying to figure out where the human ships came from when the attack began. "Enemy fleet detected," called out Lieutenant Mike Chen from his post. 24 Zephyrian warships moving to intercept us." Nicole smiled. This was what she had trained for. "All ships, activate adaptive shields. Let them shoot first. Our shields need to learn what their weapons can do." The Zephyrian ships opened fire with their green energy beams. The weapons that had destroyed the Earth's dawn hit the human ships head-on, but instead of exploding, the human ships just kept flying. Their shields glowed blue as they absorbed the energy. "Shields adapting," reported the computer. Enemy weapon patterns analyzed, adjusting defense frequencies. The Zephyrians fired. Again. This time their weapons barely made the shields flicker. The human technology was learning and changing to stop every attack. "Now it's our turn," Nicole said. "Fire quantum torpedoes." The new weapons were like nothing the Zephyrians had ever seen. The torpedoes moved faster than light itself. They went through Zephyrian shields like they were not even there. When they hit the alien ships, the results were terrible. Entire warships broke apart in seconds. In 10 minutes, all 24 Zephyrian ships were destroyed. The human squadron had not lost a single ship. Nicole led her forces to Sigma Station itself. The station tried to fight back, but its weapons could not hurt the human ships. The quantum torpedoes turned the massive base into floating scrap metal. Meanwhile, Commander Chris Walker was attacking 3 Zephyrian defense grids at once. His secret weapon was something the aliens could not imagine. 10 million small fighter drones that could think for themselves. The drones came out of hyperspace like a cloud of angry metal insects. Each one was only as big as a person, but they carried powerful weapons. The Zephyrian defenses were built to stop large ships and missiles. They could not track millions of small targets moving in perfect coordination. "Target their weapon platforms first," Chris ordered. The drones spread out across 3 star systems. They attacked every Zephyrian gun, missile launcher, and shield generator at the same time. The aliens tried to fight back, but it was hopeless. Every time they destroyed a few drones, 1,000 more took their place. The drones learned from each attack, changing their patterns to avoid enemy fire. In 2 hours, 3 of the Zephyrians' strongest defense systems were completely destroyed. The most important mission went to General Alex Turner himself. He led the attack on Zeta-7, a fortress world where the Zephyrians were holding human prisoners from the colony attacks. Turner commanded 5,000 Marines in new-powered armor suits. The armor made each human soldier as strong as 10 aliens. The suits had personal shields, computer-guided weapons, and communications that let every Marine know what all the others were doing. But the real advantage was in the soldiers themselves. Turner's Marines had trained for this kind of fight their whole lives. They knew how to work together, how to think fast, and how to never give up. The Zephyrians were strong and had good weapons, but they were not ready for humans who fought like this. The battle for Zeta 7 started when human ships destroyed the planet's orbital defenses. Then Turner's Marines landed in fast dropships. The Zephyrians tried to stop them, but the powered armor made the humans almost impossible to hurt. "Squad leaders report," Turner said into his helmet radio as his Marines spread out across the planet's surface. "Alpha Squad has secured the North Prison Complex. 300 human prisoners recovered. They're alive but need medical attention," came the first report. "Beta Squad here. We found the main alien command center. Resistance is heavy, but we're breaking through." Turner himself led Gamma Squad to the largest prison facility. Inside, he found something that made him furious. The Zephyrians had been torturing human prisoners, trying to get military information. Many of the humans were injured. Some had died from their treatment. "Get the medical teams down here now," Turner ordered, "and bring up the heavy weapons. I want this place taken in the next hour." The final assault was swift and brutal. The human Marines fought with the fury of people who had seen their friends and families murdered. The Zephyrians tried to make a last stand, but they could not stop soldiers who refused to be defeated. By the end of the day, all human prisoners had been rescued. The fortress world was under Earth control. General Turner stood in the main Zephyrian command center, looking at the alien computers that showed the locations of their fleets. Back in space, Admiral Hayes received reports from all 3 battles. Every mission had succeeded completely. Not a single human ship had been lost. The Zephyrians had lost over 100 warships, 4 major bases, and an entire fortress world. But the most important victory was not on any battlefield. All across Zephyrian space, alien commanders were receiving reports about the human attacks. They were learning that everything they thought they knew about humans was wrong. War Prince Krathtar, leader of the Zephyrian military, stared at the reports in shock. In one day, the humans had destroyed forces that had taken years to build. Their weapons were far beyond anything the Zephyrians had imagined. Their ships seemed almost impossible to damage. "How is this possible?" he asked his advisors. "Our intelligence said the humans had only small defensive fleets. It appears their intelligence about us was much better than ours about them," one advisor said carefully. "They knew exactly where to strike and how to hurt us most." Krathtar realized the terrible truth. The humans had been preparing for this war for years. Every diplomatic meeting, every trade deal, every friendly contact had been a chance for them to learn about Zephyrian weaknesses. Earth had been getting ready to fight while pretending to want peace. "Send a message to all fleet commanders," Krathtar ordered. "Pull back our forces. Do not engage human ships unless attacked first. We need time to understand what we are really fighting." But it was already too late. Admiral Hayes was planning the next phase of Earth's attack. The Zephyrians had wanted a war. Now they were going to get one that would show them the true power of humanity. The tide had turned, and it would never turn back. The final battle began in orbit around Kalos Prime, the same world where Ambassador Lisa Carter had been murdered just 3 weeks ago. Admiral Peter Hayes stood on the bridge of the USS Earth's Revenge, looking down at the planet where his friend had died trying to make peace. The Zephyrian home fleet was waiting for them. 50 of their largest warships formed a defensive line around their most important world. At the center floated the massive dreadnought Kethmoran, pride of the alien fleet. The ship was 3 times bigger than any human vessel. "Admiral, we're receiving a transmission from the planet," reported Commander Linda Ross. "War Prince Krathtar wants to talk." Peter almost laughed. Now they want to talk? After murdering our diplomats and bombing our civilians? The alien leader's face appeared on the main screen. His yellow eyes looked tired and afraid. "Admiral Hayes, I propose we stop this fighting. Too much blood has been spilled on both sides." "You're right about the blood," Peter replied, his voice cold as ice. "The blood of Ambassador Carter and 36 other people who came to your world in peace. The blood of thousands of civilians your ships murdered on our colonies. But you're wrong about it being both sides. All the innocent blood belongs to people you killed. Krathtar tried again. We can negotiate new terms. Perhaps we misunderstood your intentions. No. Peter cut him off. There will be no negotiation. You had your chance for peace when Ambassador Carter brought you our friendship. You answered with treachery and murder. Now you face the consequences. The transmission ended. Peter turned to his crew. All ships prepare for final assault. Today we finish what the Zephyrians started. But the battle would not be easy. The aliens had learned from their earlier defeats. They had positioned their ships carefully and were using new tactics. As the human fleet approached, the Zephyrians opened fire with everything they had. The space around Callus Prime lit up with energy beams, missiles, and explosions. The human ship's adaptive shields held strong, but the enemy had so many weapons that some shots got through. The USS Defender took heavy damage to its engines. The USS Justice lost 2 weapon systems. They're putting up a real fight this time, Commander Ross observed. Good, Peter said. I want them to fight with everything they have. When we win, they'll know they lost to a better enemy, not because they gave up. The battle raged for 2 hours. Human ships used their speed and advanced weapons to destroy alien vessels one by one, but the Zephyrians kept fighting, protecting their homeworld with desperate courage. The real test came when the Kethmoran moved forward to face the Earth's revenge in single combat. The alien dreadnought was commanded by Beth Morrison, Captain, Jake Morrison's sister. Jake had died on the Earth's dawn with Ambassador Carter, and Beth wanted revenge for her brother. This is for Jake and all the others, Beth said as she brought her ship close to the massive alien vessel. Show them what humans do to murderers. The 2 ships circled each other like ancient warriors. The Kethmoran was bigger and had more guns. But the Earth's revenge was faster and its weapons were far more advanced. Beth used her ship's speed to stay away from the aliens' heaviest guns while hitting them with quantum torpedoes. The dreadnought's thick armor began to crack under the assault. Explosions bloomed along its hull as human weapons found weak spots. But the alien ship kept fighting, its crew showing the same courage their enemies had learned to respect. Finally, Beth saw her chance. The Kethmoran had turned to bring its biggest guns to bear on a damaged human cruiser. This left its command section exposed for just a few seconds. Fire everything, Beth ordered. Every weapon on the Earth's revenge fired at once. Quantum torpedoes, plasma lances, and particle beams all hit the alien dreadnought's bridge. The explosion was visible from the planet's surface. The Kethmoran drifted silent and dead in space. With their flagship destroyed, the remaining Zephyrian ships began to surrender. But Admiral Hayes was not finished. He had brought one final weapon to Kalos Prime, Dr. Rachel Stone's gravity bombs. These terrible devices could create artificial black holes that would crush anything nearby. Admiral, the remaining enemy ships are surrendering, Commander Ross reported. Should we accept? Peter looked down at the planet where Lisa Carter had died. Deploy one gravity bomb in empty space where they can see it. I want them to understand what they're dealing with. The bomb activated far from any ships or planets. Space itself seemed to twist and bend as the device created a small black hole. The Zephyrians watched in horror as asteroids and space debris were pulled into the gravity well and crushed to nothing. Send this message to every Zephyrian ship and every alien government in the galaxy, Peter ordered. Humanity came to you in peace. You answered with murder and betrayal. You attacked our civilians and tortured our prisoners. This is the price of your crimes. The surrender was complete within hours. War Prince Krathtar himself came aboard, the Earth's revenge to formally give up. He looked old and broken as he handed over his ceremonial sword. You have defeated us utterly, he admitted. We underestimated humans badly. We thought you were weak because you preferred talking to fighting. We were fools. Peter took the sword but felt no joy in victory. Too many good people had died because of Zephyrian arrogance. You were fools, he agreed. But the biggest fool was whoever decided to murder Ambassador Carter. She was the best chance your species had for a peaceful future with humanity. News of the victory spread quickly across the galaxy. Other alien species heard how Earth had crushed the Zephyrians in just 3 weeks. They learned about human weapons that could adapt to any attack, ships that fought with impossible coordination, and bombs that could create black holes. President Kate Sullivan addressed the people of Earth and the galaxy one final time. She stood in the same place where she had declared war, but now flags of victory hung behind her. "The war is over," she announced. "The Zephyrian Empire has surrendered unconditionally. Justice has been served for Ambassador Carter and all our people who died in their attacks." She paused, looking directly into the camera. "Let this be a lesson to every species in the galaxy. Humanity prefers peace to war. We would rather talk than fight. We want to trade and learn and grow together with our alien neighbors." Her voice grew harder. "But when forced to fight, we do not simply defend ourselves. We ensure that those who chose violence over peace can never threaten innocent people again." The president signed a new document called the Carter Doctrine. It stated that any attack on human diplomats or civilians would result in total war. With no mercy and no quarter given, the Zephyrians lost half their territory to human colonies. Their military was limited to small defensive forces. Most importantly, they had to pay to rebuild the human colonies they had destroyed and care for, the families of people they had killed. The galaxy was a different place now. Other alien species began treating human diplomats with great respect. They remembered that Earth's representatives came offering friendship, but they were backed by the most powerful military any species had ever seen. On Earth, a great memorial was built for Ambassador Lisa Carter and all the others who died in the war. The inscription read, "They sought peace among the stars. Their sacrifice ensured that peace would be protected by strength." Admiral Hayes visited the memorial often. He would stand before Lisa's name and remember his friend who had tried so hard to prevent this war. She had failed to make peace with the Zephyrians, but her death had taught humanity an important lesson. Sometimes the only way to protect peace is to be so strong that no one dares to break it. The war was over, but humanity's reputation would last forever. Across the galaxy, alien species would tell their children the story of what happened when a peaceful people were pushed too far. They would remember that humans prefer kindness to cruelty, friendship to hatred, and peace to war. But they would also remember what happens to those who mistake human kindness for weakness. Earth had brought the flames of war to those who chose violence over peace, and the galaxy would never forget.